dedicated to Savannah, Georgia's artists, musicians, and authors. Each episode will feature a guest in conversation about their philosophy, practice, and current projects, as well as their thoughts on the state of the arts in our community. Our theme music is a clip by Jose Ray, made specifically for our show. This week, I had the pleasure of sitting down with local artists Lino and Jamie Azevedo. Lino is a fine artist, illustrator, and foundation studies professor at SCAD. Jamie is a fine art photographer. Their dual show, Paper Dolls, by this husband and wife duo, is the first show at Location Gallery for 2026. The show opens next Friday, February 27th, with a reception from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So, Lino, artist, illustrator, professor, MFA from Winthrop, foundation studies professor at SCAD since 2019. Tell us about yourself.
Yes, all of that. But before that, we were in North Dakota. I was teaching. That was my first full-time teaching gig. Mm-hmm. Before that, lots of adjuncting all over the place. Bay Area, North Carolina.
Well, you grew up in the Bay Area.
I grew up in the Bay Area initially. So we've lived near her family and my family. Jamie's family and mine.
Lived all over.
Who's in North Dakota?
No one.
That was the full-time job.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we can't say no one. I think it's 750,000 people.
Oh, I think there are 700,000.
So,
but no one that we
no
one we know.
No family,
yeah.
That was the main call, right? It's like, okay, we have a full-time gig, but we're here, and it's like, oh dear. Yeah. So it was Williston at the time was the 5th coldest city in the United States, including many Alaskan cities, just because of that bell curve.
Yeah.
So, and we were like, well, I think we can
do it.
It was cold, all right. I mean, if there's snow on the ground in October, and then still snow at the beginning of June, it's a different place. It's definitely different in Savannah. Yeah.
The coldest day was there. We were there. It was their coldest day on record. It was negative 67 degrees. Negative. You couldn't go outside. Like you would die. And our power went out. And that was pretty terrifying because within like 20, 30 minutes of the power going out, we had quilts on us, blankets. They got it fixed very quickly. But yeah, that was an adventure for sure, living in North Dakota.
Yeah. Did you immediately start applying for other jobs and end up here in Savannah? Like that?
That's basically what it was.
We unpacked the U-Haul truck and we're like, okay, who else is hiring out there?
She was online immediately in my name, posing as me and I'd come home and I'd be like, oh, okay, I guess we might. I mean, there was like Ireland and North Korea were.
Taiwan, not North Korea.
South Korea. That might have been a mistake.
You went to North Korea by yourself.
And never come back out. Yeah. Okay, but before that, just our influence way back was more like cartoons and comics and stuff like that. So I went more towards illustration. Last year or so of college, I started leaning more towards fine art. I was and then I had already done some commissions. And so doing work for somebody else wasn't quite as gratifying as work for myself, even though the style kind of stayed. So a lot of people say, oh, you're an illustrator. It's like, well, yes, but more of this, So that's basically that leads. And then we got married in New York. So I was there to be a big famous artist, but instead I was personal training. And you
were there to be a famous actress who was waitressing. And we met and fell in love and decided to live all over the country.
Yeah. So
pursue.
In North Carolina, to be near your family, is when we decided to go the direction of me teaching at the college level, because I was already doing the personal training, group fitness, and teaching part-time, and I was really loving being around people as far as the art thing. And I thought I would be just a hermit that sat in the corner and then, sobbed and drank and painted all day. And I wasn't liking that.
No, you're not, no. Then, you're an extrovert. Yeah. That didn't work.
So being with people and within the art thing is a lot more fun. So that's why.
Well, and Jamie, you started acting first. So acting background, but you've been in fine art photography for 15 plus years?
Yes, about 15 years.
Right, why the swap?
Okay, so what happened was I moved to New York to pursue acting, like Lino said, and it got to be too much. I am a neurotic person, and the stage fright all of it just got to be too much. I was like, this is too exhausting. It's very, very hard. But I knew I was a creative person anyway, so I needed to transfer that energy over to just some other form of creative expression. So I was thinking about photography already. Lino loaned me, he had this old film, was it a Minolta? Old rickety Minolta camera.
Goes back a ways.
And so I was like, well, okay, I'll just do photography, and started out doing portraits or like landscape scenes or like close-ups of like if there were a really beautiful chandelier, I would do a close-up of it, something like that. So I realized, okay, I don't like the portraiture work as much as I do like the more expressive work. But what happened was I was taking a portrait class at the Light Factory in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I had my settings all wrong, and I photographed the model and they were really blurry. And I was like, this is fun. And so that was the start of the road down to fine art photography, was that mistake.
Very cool, very cool. All right, so it's... Whew. Is it always digital? Is it always film? What are you working on?
Always digital. Yeah. Always digital. And then I have started over the past, like literally within the past few months, trying to work more with cyanotypes. And I love the tactileness of it, because with the photography, I'm behind a screen a lot. And so I love like having that hands-on experience with the work itself. I guess that's how you feel with your paintings, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely the process.
Yeah.
Very cool. So paper dolls. We've not explained that you're married, maybe.
Oh.
They're married. Paper dolls by husband and wife artist duo Jamie, photographer, Lino, mixed media. You guys are the first show at Location Gallery for 2026, right? Or is it just the Art Family Values campaign? Did I miss one in January? I think you're the first.
I think we're the first. Yeah, we're the first.
All right. So what is this Art Family Values? How did you guys get hooked up here?
So what happened was Peter Roberts, who was amazing, and I have to say we have always wanted to show in his gallery because we love the mission of that he works with always a nonprofit, gives the money back into the community. So he's been on our radar for a while. But he had a contest, I think it was probably back in July or August, he had a contest that you could win a solo show. And so I submitted for that, and he wrote me and he's like, you didn't win, but you were close. And he thought it would be a good idea to have Lino join, get his take on the meaning of paper dolls, and make it a dual exhibit and have it be a part of the Art Family Values. There. So that's how it came to be.
Now, from his press release, so let's see if I know how to read. Paper Dolls explores the suspension of time and space to collect the wisdom of not only the women in our family tree, but women of the world. And then it goes on to say both convey, I said in my notes, both is you guys, both convey an urging about how to benefit the next generation by the ones before us. Yep. What all does this mean to you? What are we looking at?
Okay, for me, I have to say I am obsessed with women in history. Obsessed with women in history. And have always thought about and loved the idea of what if you could go back in time and have a conversation with your favorite, like for me, my favorite female figure in history is Anne Boleyn. What on earth would I say to her? And then that made me also start thinking about, okay, what would be even better is if she could have a conversation with her daughter, Queen Elizabeth.
Cool.
And won't bore you with I'm sure most people know the history of that, but I mean, you think about she died because she couldn't give Henry VIII a son. Her daughter becomes one of the most famous queens in European history. Yeah, exactly. And so I started, I've always been obsessed with that. And then when I was thinking about paper dolls, I was thinking, what if I could go back in my family tree, which these are all of our family portraits, but like, this is my great-grandmother. I would love to know more about her. Or I'm sorry, she's my great-great-grandmother, Permelia McCoy.
Cool.
And I just think about what knowledge and information could she give me? Where am I like her? What traits do I have of hers? What wisdom could she pass on to me? What would she want me to carry forward to future, like my niece? We don't have children, but I have a niece. So that's my take on paper dolls.
Yeah.
And
so she came home, and said, they're asking if you wanted to also be part of the show. And I said, okay, let's do the, yes, but let's do the catch me up on this. Let's get deep into the subject matter. So it's sort of not easy to connect, because being male, I could never feel what Jamie feels or what another woman feels, or especially, these historical women and so on. And women that, are her grandparents or my grandparents or whatnot. So a lot of it is from, we watch a lot of documentaries. I mean, I don't know as much as she does about Anne Boleyn and Henry VIII and that whole Tudor dynasty, but I think I'm pretty good, because I also am watching these documentaries, or she's got about 5 or 7 books or something, just specifically, more,
maybe 15.
And she loves to talk about it. So I always get that. And so Queen Elizabeth is definitely one of my favorites as far as an underdog, and then becoming like the super heavyweight champion ever, as far as being a monarch. So it is definitely interesting to me. And then also more specifically, maybe like the suffragettes of the early 20th century, and a lot of those old photographs, which happen to be public domain, so I can use them, as I want for, my collage or mixed media or painting or whatnot. And then a lot of it is just seeing her work, so seeing her work. And then when she, I go and assist, and when she's, having me hold stuff while she poses a model and stuff, and just how I want you to feel this, I want you, but not so much of this. And so I was like, okay, so I think those types of connections have helped me to definitely start in and get going on.
Well,
on my
and
side of it.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, you're good.
But I'm your wife. Wives are supposed to do that. But but you really added in an extra element where when I created paper dolls, it was more about like an individual woman's family tree, and you really added the element of women throughout history. So like he has a portrait of Mother Teresa. She would have plenty to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Plenty to say. Or like you said, the suffragists, what did they go through? What did they experience?
Mm-hmm.
And that one more thing about that, just really quickly, Lino and I were talking about this morning. Titles come to me before the actual like aesthetic or the visual first. Like it's really weird. It's always the title first. And so the title came to me of paper dolls. It's like, okay, well, what does this mean? And then it really made me start thinking about how you were describing the suffragist. It's like, well, that's when people really played with them in the like 1920s, a little before, up until like, I think maybe the 50s or 60s. And that's so interesting. They're called paper dolls for because that's what they are. But they're also called paper dolls because girls are supposed to be dainty and frilly and delicate. And that's not what these women were at all during this time period. I mean, they fought for our right to vote.
Yeah, against men who were already in control.
Yeah, so again, it goes back to like, you see a photograph of a family member and they maybe look delicate and beautiful and sweet, but what life experiences did they have that could really like needs to be carried forward to women moving forward?
Yep.
I don't know if that answered your question, but
I love it. Okay. What do you hope we take away from the exhibition?
For me, I really hope that it will make people get curious about the women in their own family trees, have conversations with their mothers, their daughters about the things that they value and cherish, maybe even learn some like fun family folklore. I know my stepfather, he is a historian and he's big into genealogy. And so he sent it to me recently. I have multiple great grandmother who was married to someone who fought in the Revolutionary War. And so I can't wait to hear about her story, get as much information out of that as possible. But that's what I hope. I hope for the viewer, my biggest hope is that they just take away the curiosity to examine the women in their own family trees.
And you've been working on this a while because you've got a show from 2024 in
Mm-hmm.
Florence, South Carolina.
Yeah.
That was this Paper Dolls title also.
Yes.
So how much is, I mean, aside from Lino's work not being a part of this new iteration, I mean, what were the similarities? I mean, you've been working on this a while.
Oh yeah, it's the same show. It showed at Francis Marion University, and then at Sea Love Savannah. It showed there about a year ago.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but the show is pretty much the same. And I will say, initially, the first few pieces that didn't make it into the exhibit, they were more kind of not dark as in, but just it didn't feel light and joyful. The exhibit didn't. It felt a little bit more heavy. That's probably because of work that I've done in the past that was a little bit heavier. And I really, really wanted this to be a light-hearted show. So in that respect, it has changed. And then, of course, the biggest change is having Lino be a part of it.
Yeah. And it's funny, just when, the Paper Dolls thing came to her first, right? And then now she's filling in that stuff. And it's so natural for her. That's completely off. That's so alien to me, because it's like, once I do one or two, I want to go in a different direction. So having a title to begin with, it's always, put together the body work and then title it later. Sometimes even the titles for the individual pieces, it's like a last minute thing. It's like, oh, okay. And then I'll actually have Jamie help me with that because she's really good at titling. And when I put them out, things start to click and make sense. But I'm opposite. The title or anything like that is last. I mean, I just want to work on something and then hopefully but I mean, doing Paper Dolls is like, oh yeah, I have to come back to that. So that's why some of the pieces are kind of humorous and some of them are very serious. And then like Jamie's Paper Dolls previous show, some of them are a little darker or a little bit moodier, maybe mysterious. And then some of them are just, like the 60s hairstyle on one of the pieces is just, goofing around.
Is that Aquanet? What's the title of that one? Aquanet?
Aquanet Suburbia.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fabulous.
So we definitely want people to feel joy coming to the exhibit as well.
Now, how many pieces are in for both? Like total, how many pieces we think?
So I believe there are 22. I have 12, and you have 10.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
A full show.
Full
That's
show.
so exciting. All right. So Jamie, what are your favorite piece or pieces of your own work?
Okay. So Rockstar is a 20 by 30 image, and I love it. It doesn't really look like her, but every time I look at it, I think of Tori Amos. Yeah, which is interesting. I probably think about her because I was listening to some of her music, like when I was editing it, and it was some of her, because her music can be pretty dark and sometimes too, but it was one of her like uplifting songs that I was listening to over and over again when I was working on that. And I just feel like it kind of, it's like when I look at that piece, I think joyful, rebellious, brave, ready to take on the world woman.
Characteristics we all need these days.
Yes.
All right, what's your favorite piece of Lina's for the show?
I think hang on, let me look at the list really quick.
That's cheating.
Well, I love all of them, Lino.
Oh, that's a good answer. Did you hear that?
Love all of them. Yeah, I have to say, I kind of like. Well, I love the Aquanet Suburbia one. It's hilarious, but also Generational Gap. She looks disheveled and a little worn out and tired, but like ready to tell some jokes.
Yeah, it's a grandmother or a great grandmother, but definitely from yesteryear. And there's some very generic kind of super fast hand drawn family photos behind her head on the wall
That are all not hung correctly.
right.
and-
She's So I mean, because so many of these other ones are like, straight up wedding photos from like, 1910 or something, that I used as reference. And then so I wanted a couple of these to be a little bit less, I don't know, literal, I guess. And so, using a little bit more imagination and, more painterly effects and stuff like that. And that's kind of like, I wanted that. And it was, again, initially when I started that one, it was going to be sort of serious, it's like,
she was going to be serious?
Sort of. And then it just got, look at the eyes, the hair, the blue hair and everything. So it just got kind of goofier and goofier as it went. And then, of course, like you with the Tori Amos, it might just depend on what I'm listening to. And a lot of times when I'm painting, I don't want to hear lyrics. I want to concentrate. So the music is fine, depending on where I'm at during the process. But a lot of times it'd be like, well, you mentioned a mutual friend who plays in a surf rock band. And so I listen to a lot of that type of music when I'm working. And usually that's what kind of happens.
So she was listening to surf rock?
No, I was.
Oh, well, I know. But now maybe she's...
maybe she is too.
I think to Jack Harvey.
She's supposed to come out kind of sort of 1930s depression. So
I
don't think there was much surf rock then. But yeah.
But she looks like she would have listened to surf rock if she could have.
No doubt. No doubt.
For sure.
She was supposed to be serious in the beginning?
Well, at the very beginning, but I mean within 10 minutes and I'm listening to, and then of course I'm just going off in some other place. But
it is a really good painting.
Thank you.
It's fun. It's very, very fun.
All right, your turn, Lino. What's your favorite piece of your own work in this show?
I do like Aquanet Suburbia. That one was a lot. And I really did do the paper doll thing there where I actually drew it, cut it out, put it on top of the background. The background itself was cut out and pasted onto an actual canvas. So there's a canvas and then there's a sheet of Bristol that has the background, which is like ballpoint pen and watercolor done quickly. And then I took a little bit more time to do the main figure. And then I just started pushing things like her facial expression and her outfit and definitely her hair. Her hair had to just get bigger and bigger and bigger. I think maybe it was because we had just watched that Priscilla Presley
yes.
documentary.
Yes.
Well, there was a documentary and an actual movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So.
All right, what's your favorite piece of her work in the show?
So the Rockstar one is nice, but Mystic Liberty, and it, just she can't yell at me because one of our mutual friends, very close friend, also that's his favorite. So Mystic Liberty is one of the pieces that just has a little bit of the historical thing. It has the mysterious quality, which I think is one of the many really, really cool qualities of Jamie's work. And it has a little bit of a tie into her previous show. So a lot of her more current pieces, like Mrs. Perkins, is definitely growing on me because she's being more playful. She's using brighter colors. She's making the mysterious, ethereal thing slightly secondary to something a little bit more upbeat. So those are growing on me. But Mystic Liberty is kind of like where I've seen Jamie's work for maybe like 7 or 8 years probably.
Very cool. All right, with titles like Miss Independent and Mother Teresa and Ms. Debutante and Susan B. Anthony, how do you clearly help each other with titles, or she helps you with titles. Do you have like a favorite pairing? Do you have like a piece of yours that was modeled after one of her pre-existing works? Do you have any couples like yourselves in this show?
So, going back to when she first said, "Hey, they're thinking of doing this as a duo. What do you think?" Blah blah. Oh yes, yeah. Because I've always wanted to do a watercolor, which is not my favorite medium, but of or based on her work, and because her work does kind of have a watercolor feel to it, because she layers so many of the the digital like layers. I think you use pixel art, I think. To kind of like separate everything. And sometimes they come out looking like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do a watercolor like just like this, So she gave me some of the files that she's not using anymore and said, okay, how about one of these? I said, oh yes. And I started going, and I don't know what music I was playing. I want to use that as an excuse, but it was just a mess. I could not make it work. And it was just pulling out I don't have hair, but pulling out some.
Why you don't have hair?
Yeah, maybe. And so it didn't. So it was supposed to be, I wanted to do almost like smaller watercolors, very, very heavily based on her work, because that's something I've thought about for years. And it just didn't work. It's just, yes, we're married, we love each other, but you do yours over there and I'll do mine over here. I think is what basically started out.
Very different styles, but like it's super
Yeah.
cohesive. I think when it hangs together, what do you know what Peter's plan is? Are they going to hang separate shows? Are we going to be intermixed?
I'm hoping it's a little bit intermixed.
That's not
And I'll tell you, I'm curious what you think of this, Lino, too. But when you were asking, like, what if there's a pairing there, I would love to know what Miss Independence and Generational Gap would have to say to each other.
All right, describe these paintings
So,
because this is a
okay.
radio show.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, sorry.
Sorry.
Too much in the moment. So Miss Independence is a 20 by 30. It's one of my photography mixed media pieces. It is the model that I photographed. She has this gorgeous long red hair, and she's tall and really thin. And when I photographed her, I was like, just dance like you're a belly dancer. And so she did that for me. And so one of the photographs, she almost looks like a belly dancer. Her hands are up in the air. She's got her hip out. All her hair is coming forward. It's almost to her waist. And she has on, and this is where the layering is, she's got on a paper doll outfit that is pink, but it's a little more kind of modern-y looking. So she looks like when I see her, I see like not a belly dancer, but just, I called her Miss Independence because I was like, she's feeling her freedom, like maybe somebody from the 60s. And then Generational Gap, which is my favorite piece of Lino's, is a very disheveled elderly woman sitting like she's posing for a portrait. I'm not sure if that's a tie or a scarf.
But she's like
off,
Midwest, kind of.
But it's off kilter. She didn't look in the mirror before she sat down for the portrait. She's disheveled. Her hair is all sticking out and in a mess. And then behind her, there's a wall of other, like he said, did quickly sketched, supposed to be portraits of other people, probably from her family.
Mm-hmm.
But they're crooked, they're angled weird. She looks like a very fun train wreck to me. So
In your head, is Miss Independence turning into Generational Gap? Is Generational
I think
Gap?
so.
Okay.
I think so.
Just Generational Gap, maybe like Miss Independence's mom that's a little bit
Yes.
frustrated and sleeping.
Yes.
Okay. Take it as you will. All right, teach me something. This show, I have an art history degree. I am not a fine artist by trade. I am not nearly as cool or as good at using my hands as you guys are. Lino, mixed media work. Teach me something about your normal process. Teach me something fun.
Okay. So let's see. Art history. What I could say is I think since most people are more confident in drawing than painting, possibly we could go with working on a drawing, draw, erase until it's at a place that you're confident that you want to now start painting. It could take weeks, but it's just this two-step process. So once it gets to a point where you're like, okay, I want to start painting this thing, I'm sick of, or you're happy with where it's at. Then we seal the drawing. So in the old days, oil painters would draw on top of charcoal drawings, and the charcoal would actually mix in. But another process is to seal down, almost like layers in like Jamie's photography. But we would seal down that drawing with a spray and a couple layers in that medium. And then with whatever paint, most likely acrylics or oils, you would then layer everything and start monochromatic, which means of one color, and then maybe browns that kind of build up the color slowly. And now it's methodical. I going back to art history and stuff, I'm also thinking that you're a patient person, right? No? Okay. Well, because this would be, but the results are amazing because you can take somebody with very little experience and get them to produce a very finished piece. Again, it would take a while and it does take patience, but that is one thing that I would try with you.
Do you have a favorite base color to use?
I usually use some kind of burnt sienna.
Okay. So you said brown and you meant it.
Yeah.
All right. Love it. All right, Jamie, teach us something.
Mine's going to be a little bit more philosophical. Again, you and I were talking about this morning, but play all the time with your art, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Like I was saying earlier, when I was trying to do a professional portrait and everything got blurred, and I was like, that is much more interesting than what I was about to do. So don't just toss away mistakes. Play and explore. Don't give up on something if you think it's a mess. maybe there's something underneath there that is waiting to be born. So that's, I think, the biggest thing that I've taken away from my photography journey is just really play.
How do you create your layers?
That's through through play, a lot of play. That's through Pixlr. It's an online photo editor similar to Photoshop. But what I do with my layers is, so the first layer is always the woman. So I take them out to, like, usually out on Tybee Island. I overexpose everything that I possibly can on the camera, wide aperture, slow shutter speed, because I want the model to be moving and get that blur that I've been talking about. Want it to look almost ghostly and washed out. And then when I go online to edit them, I will use paper dolls clothing. But they're like, if you're looking at one of these outfits, there might be 2 or 3 outfits that I've put on the model. And then I love wallpaper. I don't know why, but I love wallpaper and patterns. And I love wallpaper that looks like maybe it was in an old Victorian home. So I'll take photos of scraps of that as well and put that in the images as well.
Very cool. Do you have a favorite wallpaper? In the series, not in like in general. That would be too hard.
What? Actually, the Mrs. Perkins one, because that one was inspired by one of my favorite short stories that I read. I'm pretty sure we probably all read it in high school, The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins. It's about a woman who, it's horrible. I don't know why I'm laughing. A woman who goes mad. I can't quite remember. She either had a miscarriage or she becomes depressed. And her husband and family, they say, we're going to take you up to the country and we're going to have you be in this bedroom and you just need to rest. And the story is, this is a really creative woman who was having her creativity repressed because during that time women did not need to be creative. And she went mad. And so in the book, there's this tacky yellow wallpaper, which there's kind of tacky-ish yellow wallpaper on that photograph. And throughout the book, each night she sees the figure of a woman behind the yellow wallpaper, and she's clawing her way out of the wallpaper. I love the symbolism in that book. So I tried to create that with the tacky yellow wallpaper in Miss Perkins.
I love it. Do you have a typical run that you do? Is it always like 1 of 1? Is it 1 of 10? Is it 1 of 100? What's your game?
So actually, all of these, with the exception of I think 2, all of these are limited edition prints. So the really large ones, there's only 20 available, and then I believe all the smaller ones, it's only 1 of 25.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah. Do you print it yourself? Do you have like a guy in town?
So we lived in Lino grew up there, but then he and I lived there for a couple of years, and I love them. Bay Photo Lab in the San Francisco Bay Area, and it costs extra, but I don't care. They do a phenomenal job, so that's why I always get everything printed with.
Once you have a guy, don't change your guy.
They're wonderful. The first couple of times they were like, your image is a little blurry, and I'm like, yes.
Thank you.
It's not a portrait. And they're like, okay, now we see what you're doing. So they're great. I've been working with them for years.
Yeah, never swap.
No.
Their stuff is fabulous. What about framing? Do you guys pick your own frames? Do you go to somebody in town to... So that is where I actually want to learn to frame. Cool.
I don't think we have the space to do it, but I really want to learn to frame. But yeah, I will a lot of times I've actually gone to Michael's.
Really?
They do a good job, or we'll pick the frames and go there. There was actually, when we lived in North Dakota, there was a wonderful lady who was a framer. Linda, remember Linda? Mm-hmm. She did all of our framing for previous exhibits there, but I need to explore Savannah more and discover some more framers out there. I'm sure there's some great ones.
I just got to Friedman's and never swapped because
once
you got a guy, you keep your guy.
Okay, I'll have to look into Friedman's.
But learning how to frame would be very cool. In your head, are you like cutting the material yourself and like wood gluing?
Yes, my dad's a woodworker, and so I've begged him. I'm like, maybe one day you can show me how to frame. And he's like, you want all this scrolling and filigree in the frames, because I love girl. I love flair on frames. And he's like, I can help you glue it, but I don't know what you're going to do about the rest of the woodworking equipment you would need to do that. But that's a dream.
Love that. Yeah, there's flair. There's flair on your frames.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lino.
No, I'm just saying I'm sort of the anti-frame. So
you are the anti-frame.
Yeah. So I just kind of like got this gimmick going a few years ago where it's like I'll just buy a bunch of wood panels. They're cradled wood panels that you normally paint on. Obviously, they look like canvases really from far away, but they're cradled wood panels. There's a panel on the front, and then the cradling or framing is on the back. It has a little bit of girth or width, so you might get like an inch or even up to 2 inches. And then I'll do something slightly smaller, like a full inch or half an inch smaller. And then after the drawing comes along a little bit, sort of like what I was saying earlier, I paste it on there, and then I paint. And then once I'm done with the paint itself, I paint all the edges, and therefore it looks like a frame. It's nowhere near as expensive, and it's done. It's a done piece. You don't take anything out. You don't need to. You just have the wire on the back, and that's it. So it's kind of. I know it's kind of gimmicky, but most galleries have been okay with it so far.
Yeah.
We did it all the time back in the day.
Yeah.
Now, are you wrapping the color that you were using on the front, or are you like doing the black outline or the brown outline?
I usually do pick a color that's darker, but it coincides with the theme, meaning the color harmony or scheme of the actual painting. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's great.
All right, you heard it here.
I ran a gallery for years. I would have taken it and not complained about you not liking framing things. That's perfect. Plus, it brings the cost down a little bit.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. You've been at this a long time. Your mom is an artist?
Yeah, my mom was an oil painter. She did some oil painting back in probably around the 70s. Once my brother and I got old enough where we didn't have to have like a full-on supervisor over our shoulders, she started oil painting, and especially if we were at school. But usually it was at night after dinner and everything was done. And then she would make us, like in the summer, oil paint, which I was okay with. I was having fun with it. My brother, I don't think really liked it at all. I mean, he's in finances. So we already know what side of the brain that is and what it is for me. So, but I went back to it later because I was always drawing. And then when I decided I wanted to actually paint, she had all that just lying around. So I do remember that she taught us a couple things that she learned in her class. I actually wound up taking the same teacher that she had, which was like an adult center locally. And so I did learn some oil painting. I don't really use much oils anymore, but I still had those oils when I moved to New York and when you and I got married, actually. I think, I had that kind of suitcase that was kind of falling apart.
Of course, you know what I'm thinking about.
Mm-mm.
Do you want to share?
Go.
So his parents immigrated from Portugal.
Cool.
And so she had Lino. Do you want to share it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so cute.
So they would just kind of like get like a National Geographic or some kind of magazine. Oh, it's a flower magazine. I'm going to do these flowers. It was just, recreational fun. A lot of older folks were in that class because, like I said, I took it later. Mm-hmm. And she took me a couple of times when she was taking the class. And then...
But when you were little...
So when my brother and I were little, and she was like, okay, we're supposed to just take something out of a magazine. And my dad had all these National Geographics lying around. So we would look through it and say, oh, I want to do zebras. Oh, I want to do a lion, And there was some article, I think, on the Washington Monument. And then my brother was like, oh, this looks easy. I want to do this. So she's like, okay. And I'm doing my zebras or whatever. And he's doing it. And he's just whipping it out. Oh, this is easy. Just a big old gray, skinny triangle or whatever it is. And she's like, that looks boring. Put some windows on it. So there's still, my mom passed away in 2007. There's still his painting up on the wall. Ours are facing the hallway, each other. My zebras and his Washington Monument with windows on it. Up on the wall. It was like, because people walk by and say, oh, what is that? It kind of looks like the Washington Monument, but I know it doesn't have windows. It's like, well, there's a story to that.
Mom thought it would have been cooler with windows.
Because she didn't even understand what she didn't know what the Washington Monument was.
Yeah, they probably hadn't been to DC at that point.
Not at that point.
Yeah.
No. Very good. All right. So that's your earliest memory of creating art?
My brother's Washington Monument. No, I mean, yeah, us. Well, I mean, of course, drawing. You know, with Warner Brothers cartoons, you have to draw Bugs Bunny, you have to draw those characters and stuff like that. But
You were little, right? Like, weren't you 4 or 5 when you started?
no, the oil painting, no.
No. The drawing of the cartoon.
Oh, sure, yeah. But,
Wow.
but I mean, everybody draws at that age. We just some people just stop, and some people keep doing it. And I think, but yeah.
You were an adult, Jamie, when you picked up a camera?
Yes.
Did you dabble as a child?
The only thing I remember doing was setting up my Barbie dolls in front of an aquarium and doing beach scenes with them with photography. I was like, because my dad did photography. I was like, this is so much fun. And then fell in love with acting and ignored it until I was, 32, 33 years old.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, these are very much like Barbies, maybe
Yeah.
without the beach, but you were doing the initial shoot on the beach, so
There you go. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's very true. That was
technically,
back there the whole, absolutely.
very cool. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Just in general, or to work with?
Purple and blue.
Yeah, I was about to get in trouble
Why?
because she told me blue the other day.
Yeah,
I was like,
purple and blue. But I love, purple is my favorite color, but I love working with blues. Love it.
Lino, what's your favorite color?
green is definitely my favorite color. I like muddy colors, like as far as painting, but green. I'm always attracted to green. I don't know the nature side of it. I just think that it can be bright. It can be kind of muddy. You can do most colors you can, but I mean green for sure. You can do many different moods with it depending on what you add into it and what you take away.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite like paint color when you're mixing?
I do like the greens. I like all the cool colors. So greens, blues, and purples mostly. There was a time, probably the first like 7 or 8 years of painting, that I did not touch orange. I don't know what it is about orange. Don't get that orange in there. Now I love using orange, but it was so strange. I just could not. I wouldn't even put it on my palette. I was just like, okay, if I absolutely need it, I'll mix the yellow and the red. But otherwise, I just don't want it on my palette. I just had this like fear or hatred or something of orange. I know the poor color.
I know, I'm looking at a painting in our living room that's mostly orange that we
Right,
did.
much later.
That's-
But I mean, I'm
yeah.
talking about that one.
Oh.
Orange and blue together. Those are nice. That's a good combo.
Now, you've been in Savannah for several years now. How does living in Savannah influence your work? Does it influence your work?
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely does mine, because ghostly city, romantic, history, all of my favorite things. So for sure,
Same.
100%.
I mean, if you're not inspired by just driving through the squares or walking
Yeah.
through, preferably. But I mean, I remember COVID. We would just go drive around the squares and get inspired, come back home and do our artwork. So I think the architecture,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of the culture, the trees. I mean, the summers are a bit rough. I prefer the cold. Maybe not Williston, North Dakota cold as much, but I didn't have as much of an issue with the cold as maybe you did. But
Just an observation as your wife, though. I think it's interesting because Savannah, like, we're known for quirky characters here, and you've been working on a lot of quirky characters for the past
wow, yeah,
2 years. I wonder if that's just the
might be.
quirkiness of Savannah is rubbing off on you.
I think so. And then some of the people I work with too have very distinct personalities. You know, a lot of professors are just kind of like coming in with their big bow tie or
Yeah.
bell bottoms or whatever. You know. It's like
You're
what's-
around fun people.
Yeah, I mean the dress code is somewhat loose enough for the whole college professor thing, so
Yeah.
people definitely take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So it is. I think Savannah overall, for me, you see, we're not actually beach people. We're actually out here on Whitmarsh Island, and we sometimes go months without going to the beach at
Which is
all.
terrible.
Yeah.
It's in your backyard.
It is. I know,
Okay.
but we spend way more time downtown walking around. We did it yesterday just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun.
Valentine's Day type of thing.
Very
Yeah.
good. All right. Now, how do you think Savannah's arts community has changed over the years?
We were just talking about that too this weekend, because we're very guilty of this. We have not engaged nearly to the level that we should at all. And so I personally, you probably can, being at SCAD, but I cannot speak to it because I have not been involved as much as I should be. I will say, a I was a part of Savannah Gallery of Art. Really sad to see that gallery go. It was great people, lots of wonderful art there. So that was really hard to see that go, but I definitely want to get more involved. I just joined this week Arts on the Coast.
Lovely. Okay.
Looking forward to meeting those folks, and then also Art Southeast. So,
And I think well, we were talking about before the recording, but the COVID definitely really changed things, and not just in Savannah, of course, but I think that when we moved here, it was about a little bit over a year before COVID hit.
6 months.
6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so we felt like we were kind of cut off for a little bit. And then when things started to come back, it came back kind of slow. So I feel like we kind of lost that time in a way. And people were still kind of like, sort of still wearing the masks and sort of kind of, so it was still quite a bit of time before people, I think, got comfortable. And, it just hurt so much, the brick and mortar. It actually helped online.
For sure.
A lot of artists did almost guiltily did really well online during COVID. I mean, because people were home buying stuff on the computer. So that wasn't as much of the issue, but the actual city of Savannah, I think it definitely took a big hit. But as far, there's a couple of galleries kind of popping up, and there's also a lot of events. And
you were just talking about he went to. And maybe they've been around for a while, or maybe they're new. Cute Tomatoes Gallery.
I think they're
That's pretty new.
Yeah, you loved. I haven't been there yet, but you loved that.
Oh, Phil's a cutie.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's really love him, and I met the girlfriend briefly, and like her kids are so cute. Yeah, they're good people. Pop in Cute Tomatoes, and it's right next door to 6B, so you can make it like a dual, like grab a snack and then. So like 3 rooms. The show that's up now is fabulous. Yes. But yeah, that's a year old maybe.
Oh wow.
That's pretty new. And like Gallery 24 is pretty new. We've lost a bunch. And it wasn't just the Savannah Gallery of Art that all kind of went at the same time. We had a series of galleries that disappeared, and that was so sad.
Kobo Gallery disappeared. Yeah.
They say that'll come back in some new form, but I've not heard anything because that's been gone a while. Yeah. That's sad. Who's your favorite artist that's not you or each other right now?
Francesca Woodman.
I'm getting nothing.
Okay,
Francesca. Entirely. Teach me something.
Francesca Woodman. She went to RISD, photographer, committed suicide.
Oof.
Yeah, but her work is just incredible. I discovered it, like 6 years ago? There's a documentary called The Woodmans. Her father I think her father's still alive, is a painter. Her mother passed away. She was a famous potter. Her brother was like a video installation artist, and then she did photography. And she did, not quite to the degree that I do it, but she did a lot of like slightly blurry-ish images. She's got a lot of mystery in her work, but it is stellar. Francesca Woodman by far. And I think she died in the 70s. I think she was only like in her early to mid 20s.
She's a 27 club, but
yes, maybe maybe a little bit under that. But it's such a shame because her work is just outstanding. But a lot of people didn't understand what she was doing or trying to do, and I think that really got to her.
And then for me, a lot of the artists of like that kind of sort of 90s sort of movement where there was a lot of illustrators going into fine art. There's like a big kind of like a group of them, but anybody from Kent Williams, Dave McKean,
Mark Ryden.
Yeah, Mark Ryden, Greg Simpkins. But if we go, since you're an art historian, if we go back a ways, I've always really enjoyed looking at the work of like the Northern Renaissance. Hans Memling would probably be one of my all-time favorites for sure.
Very good. What do you guys want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about, Lino? Do-over of Valentine's Day?
Oh, yeah. That was... part 2.
We had a Valentine's Day fail.
Yeah. What was it?
We were going to go see The Princess Bride. We were going to go see
Cute!
Yes, and we
sold out.
waited too late to get the tickets, and then we were like, well, let's just go walk around downtown. And we were like, Oh, the pollen's out already. This is making me tired.
It's been miserable this week. The pollen's been
Okay,
awful.
good. Because we were just like, oh my gosh, we're this old now. We're this old that it's 2:00 and it's nap time.
No.
Okay.
No. I
Okay.
have a 2-year-old daughter, so like anything could be a bug, right? Because toddlers are
Of course.
demons, just like pulling germs. So I spent like 24 hours thinking, oh no, am I sick? No, it's the freaking pollen. Everything's coated in yellow. The cars all need washing. It's all in the water. It's gross. So it's not just
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, the pollen, our poor planning and the pollen ruined our Valentine's Day, so we've got to do a do-over of that.
We might have time tonight.
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, we'll get out of your house. Thank you so much for having me. Valentine's Day part 2 with me in your living room. Sorry, y'all.
We really do need to explore Savannah more. It is such a gorgeous city,
Yeah.
and it has so much, it's just unique and has so much charm, and we just get in our ruts and we stay at home, and we really need to get out there and explore more. Like, we just, over the past year, really started going out and doing things, and we've been here since 2019, which is crazy.
You had the Savannah Gallery of Art, so you had your
Yeah, I
village.
had the little-
You were a villager, and then
Yeah.
with it gone, if you've not filled in the gaps, it
Yeah.
takes a while to realize that like you've lost your troop, your little
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
So once it
yeah.
finally sneaks in, it's time to fill in the gaps.
Yeah. And that was something I will say that we were laughing about living in North Dakota because it was just so cold and I was looking for jobs immediately. But that was such a phenomenal experience because it was a small town. What was it? 30,000 people. They were very guarded because it was an oil boom town. So a lot of people had come in and changed their town very quickly and then left. And so justifiably so, newcomers, they would observe you for a while. But once they watched us for about a year, we really started collaborating with other artists. And that was a great experience to learn that you can live in the most non-artsy town. And if you make some friends and make some connections, you can create all kinds of opportunities and possibilities for fellow artists. And that was something we did there. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we need to engage with that here for sure.
Savannah's a great town for it. We're just
Yeah.
big enough and we're just small enough where somehow there's always a connection. And
Yeah.
anyone you talk to will there's going to be some acquaintance in common. There's going to be some connection whether you know it or not. And I love that our arts community is so tight knit. It's a nice place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to engage more.
Yeah, I mean, working at
Sure.
SCAD helps.
Yeah, you're
It's-
connected.
Yeah.
You see people every day.
Right. And so that definitely helps with knowing what's going on in our community and stuff like that. So yeah, but there's still effort because people are like, oh, I'm going to teach, then I'm going to go home and grade. Oh, I got to
Yeah.
teach, I'm going to go home and grade. It's like, well, hold on, I mean,
Yeah, because you were talking about that you might want to have like a faculty group exhibit.
yeah. So
Fun.
Yeah.
right. So again, just sort of like the one that you were talking about. I think if it's the same one, Acute Tomatoes, but that's like 3 or 4 faculty. I think if it's the figurative one.
Dana?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah,
No,
that
wait.
one. So
No, I don't know.
maybe there's a new one up. I don't know. Maybe that one's down. I don't know.
I don't know.
But whatever. But basically, some foundations professors, showing somewhere. Like the Cedar House has done a lot of SCAD professor shows and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and graduate shows and stuff. So I think it's just a matter of actually doing it because I
Yeah.
get so into teaching and it's like, oh, but no, tomorrow I'm going to change the lesson slightly because of this, and I really get into that, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, what about my stuff? So it is a matter of like scheduling things and making sure that there's like a weekly thing that you do specifically for your own art career.
Yeah.
It's feast or famine in Savannah. There's either every show on the planet or there's nothing. So it's so much fun to go through the swings.
Yeah, that's one fun thing. Is I don't know who's doing it, but they're so fun. The wraps around the traffic signals.
The wraps?
They look to be historic photographs of Savannah, downtown Savannah. We didn't see them at all, and then over the past like 3 or 4 years, we've seen some pop up. It's not the traffic signals; it's the little
It's the box.
boxes.
The electrical
Ah,
box.
okay.
Yeah. So I don't know who's doing that, but that's been fun to see those popping
A lot
up.
of murals lately.
Yeah.
Tons of murals
Yeah, they're
lately.
really
Yeah.
popping up. And
We
there's
just-
a brand new,
The
there's
pink.
there's one on Habersham near right. No,
Was it on
it was on
Habersham?
Bull Street.
I don't know.
I thought it was.
But it was beautiful, pink, floral.
Yeah. I mean, but they're popping up.
Yeah.
They're all-
Have you ever done a mural?
Oh yeah. Yep. So I got laid off from the day job. About 2 years after we got married, and I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do just the super like full-time art thing, I got to do it. Let's do it now. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so that was not only I'm comfortable with, like, say, using the grid method to put something up on a big wall, but also it pays so well. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
But then you're in somebody's house. Sometimes it's like, oh, I want a Tuscan landscape in my living room. Is that okay? And it's like, it is. You have a big family, and I don't know how this. I mean, this is your living room. So, oh no, if you could come during the day, obviously when we're at work and at school, blah blah blah.
That's
and then
so
on the
weird.
weekend, but it is. It really is. And then there was another family, and she just would not. The mom would not like let it go. It was just like a new. Like, I'm sitting there finishing up like a big dolphin in her daughter's room.
Oh yeah.
And then it was like, yes, but now what about in the kitchen? I want like. Or in the bathroom, I want seashells all over the. Okay, so you're doing the seashells, and so a couple days go by and you're finishing up. You know what I want now? It's like, okay, I think I'm like full-time employed by this one person.
So we loved her. She
Yeah.
paid our mortgage for a while. So
That's
pretty
a
much.
great problem to have, guys.
exactly.
Those were fun. You're usually left alone. You can kind of have some leeway. Family portraits, however, maybe.
Not your jam?
Never again, Rabbi. Never again. That was
What's
good.
your least favorite? Portraits?
Well, I like doing portraits, period.
Right.
If I have full command.
It's like
of
your
it.
whole thing.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. But if you're going to ask me to do a portrait of your child, and you're going to say, maybe just a little bit more of this here, okay? Maybe just a little less of that over here. It's okay. That's what I was doing earlier, but okay. And it just goes. But I've had quite a few, commission issues that way, where you're just kind of like, you're not quite getting.
We don't realize how we look.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember you coming back in. Got to take the braces off. The kid had braces, but they don't want braces in the portrait.
No, they needed braces, is what they needed.
Oh.
But I mean,
Much worse.
well,
Make the kids slightly more attractive.
well, it was that awkward age of like 7 or 8, and so, but it was the aunt. So the aunt would meet me at
Don't
Starbucks.
give out too much information.
Right. And so I said, okay, these are my nephews, and is this photo good enough to work from? And I said, she gave me a few photos, and I said, okay, this one, I'm going to go in this direction. It's still kind of weird with the flash in the face, but let's try this one. So I did a pencil rough that was pretty finished, and she seemed to like it. So we met at Starbucks again, into the process. But and I said, listen, I really need to be around the person or the people that I'm going to draw or paint, because that way I can get the energy in there, and they never understood that part of it really. And so she, no, this is a surprise for my sister. This is her kids. And so this has to be a surprise. So we can't just go over there. I can't just go over there with this weird artist guy and kind of, do this, it wouldn't work. And I haven't babysat.
Just take the kids for lunch.
Yeah. And I was like,
the artist on the way
I
out.
tried,
What are you talking about?
And I tried,
It's so
just
weird.
right. And I was like, okay, I'm just going by these photos. I was like, it's not going to have that energy. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Whatever you do is going to be fine. Okay, here we go. And so the first draft, then I started painting it. I said, okay, I better check in. So I emailed a scan of it, and she's like, Noah's teeth are not quite right. And I said,
I have editing software. I will cut the kid's name. Jamie's panicking over here.
well, it was like 15 years ago, but
That's such a popular name. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. And
the arc builder.
yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's really what his teeth look like, but okay. And so I think they're just too big and just coming out too much. And I was like, yes, I know. And so I was like, okay. And so I would make the teeth slightly smaller and closed in a little bit more. And she, oh yes, there he is. There's my.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm not an orthodontist. I'm just trying to make this look like your nephew, but okay.
So it sounds like the beef you have is with commissioned works being trouble.
Yes.
Yes.
They can be. And it is part of the thing, and as my illustration professor would say, if he was here now, he's like, listen, if you have all these restrictions and you're truly an artist, a really good artist, I could give you 100 restrictions and you still come out with something that's really, really good. And it's like,
As a gallerist, I would say this is why you need contracts.
yeah.
That say that there's a certain number of revisions.
Exactly.
And after that, it's going to cost them.
Yeah. And that is a contract thing. Yeah. It's literally in a lot of contracts with commissions or illustrations.
Yeah, you learned that lesson. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
that was the one. That was the
Yeah.
Everyone always learns that lesson the
Yeah.
hard way. Every single human learns that lesson just the worst way possible.
one. Yes.
All right, Jamie, is there something you're never doing again?
I'm about to do something that I'm never doing again.
Oh, no.
They're our best friends, and they have done so much for us. And so I'm photographing their wedding
Oh, fun.
and having like,
Son's wedding.
well, yeah, not their wedding, their son's wedding. Having panic attacks about it already. Lino's going to be my photographer's assistant, but weddings, that scares me to death because if something goes wrong, there's no wedding reenactments.
Do they have a second person photographing the wedding?
Lino.
Yeah. Which is not good.
just me.
Yeah.
Just me, and then I bullied Lino into being my assistant. And they're very laid back. They're wonderful. They're like, and obviously they know I don't do weddings. They're like, then we want something fun. And I'm like, yes, but
She hasn't done that in a while.
I've never done it. Like,
Oh yeah, not a wedding. You
Yeah,
did it for fun, meaning you did my friend's wedding.
I did a friend's wedding for fun.
They had their own photographer, and then Jamie
Did some, and it was a lot of fun, but there was no pressure, right? And so after I do it, I feel certain I'm never going to do it again.
It'll be amazing.
I love the group we're going to be with, so that part will be fun.
That's
But-
pressure, though. Yeah, you're going to
Yeah.
lose some sleep over
Oh,
that.
yes.
It'll end up great, but you're going to sleep real bad for about a week.
Exactly.
As the assistant, I'm holding the extra large glass of champagne for her, so that
Is that better or worse, though?
I know, I'll make them blurry.
yeah, you might do
Better
it
not do
when
that.
you're not supposed to.
I'll be like, let's get creative.
Yeah.
Be like, I can't tell where I am in this photo, so.
Well, you got to do both, right? You can do
Yeah.
like some normal and then like do your stuff because they clearly like you and your work.
Yeah,
So
and
you
they're
can do couple
wonderful. They're wonderful. They've done so much for us, which is why I said I have no choice but to say yes to this because they've been phenomenal.
Love that. Did you guys pick Cure Childhood Cancer or did Peter pick Cure Childhood Cancer?
We picked it because I have a personal connection there. Mackenzie Mullins used to be my boss. And when she moved over to Cure Childhood Cancer and she was telling me all about their mission, first of all, I love and adore her. And any organization that she's a part of, I know they're going to do so well. And when she talks about that the money goes to researching for a cure, but it also goes to like helping to cover bills, feed families. She goes, I think once or twice a month, she will go to the hospitals and visit the children that have it. And it's just such a phenomenal organization. So we're hoping to raise a lot of money for them.
That's one of the best parts about Location Gallery. The space is amazing. The work is always amazing. The shows are always amazing. But I love that the gallery sales do benefit charities.
It's the mission is just, I've never come across a gallery that's done that. And so again, when we first moved here, I was like, this gallery, we've got to work to get in there.
Yes.
Yes, I love them. Love the mission. Love it. So your show opens up on February 27th.
Yes.
There's a reception from 6 to 8 p.m.
Yes.
Location Gallery is inside the Corcoran Austin Hill Realty at 251 Bull Street. Now, after the show, it's open every day of the week. So some people don't know this. It is 10 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then 11 to 3 on Saturday, or by appointment. So bother Peter. Yay.
Please bother Peter.
Yes.
I love him. He's actually coming on next after you guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Peter Roberts will be the next interview, talking about his March exhibition, Decades, because that's the 10th anniversary show
Wow.
at Location Gallery. So I love seeing you guys and him back to back, and just woof.
He's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yes, so much cool stuff is going through there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any final thoughts?
Thank you for giving us this opportunity to.
And come see the show.
Yeah, absolutely, come
Yes.
see the show.
Come see the show.
Please come see it. Come visit.
Yeah, we got like 3 weeks to see it. There's no
Yeah.
excuse, even if you can't make it on the 27th. I mean,
Right.
6 days a week. Stop.
And you can
get out
also
there.
see it online, worst case scenario, if you're sick, right? I believe
Yeah.
And you can even buy them, the images online, the art online if you want, I believe.
Very cool. All right.
So
I love it. Thank you so much for having me.
thank you. This was
Thank
so
you
much
very much.
fun.
I got a whole house tour. I got this work all over. We'll get some photos up online and link to their social media sites and their websites and all that. But come see us on the 27th.
Yes.
Huge thanks to Jamie and Lino for having me over, giving me a sneak peek of all the artwork in their upcoming exhibition, and just being wonderful people. As always, gallery sales from the location show are donated. This particular exhibition benefits Cure Childhood Cancer. Cure, all caps, Childhood Cancer is dedicated to doing just that, conquering childhood cancer through funding targeted research and while supporting patients and their families, all with the belief that childhood cancer can be cured within our lifetime. I'll link to their site in our show notes. The show opens next Friday, February 27th, with the reception from 6 to 8 p.m. Location Gallery is located in Corcoran Austin Hill Realty at 251 Bull Street. If you missed the opening, the gallery is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, or also by appointment. The next interview comes out in 2 weeks on Wednesday, March 4th, and I'll have Peter Roberts on. Peter is a fine artist in his own right and the gallery director at Location. We'll be catching up prior to the opening of his March exhibition, Decades. Decades has 36 participating artists celebrating the 10th anniversary of Location Gallery. All featured artists have worked with the gallery before, and the show is entirely made up of 10-inch by 10-inch works. This special opening reception is a ticketed event. It'll be held at the Kennedy Pharmacy, and that's at 323 East Broughton Street. The opening is held on Saturday, March 14th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., and tickets are already available on the gallery's website. I hate to be missing this one. This one's going to hurt, but I have a family wedding to attend that day in a different state. Gallery profits from this wonderful anniversary show will be donated to the Historic Savannah Foundation. Until then, thank you so much, Savannah. See you next time.